You're watching PTV.
Buster Brown. I live in a shoe. My dog Tide lives there too. And we're heading down the track right to your shoe store with some great new shoes. Puffs for girls and topsies too. And boys, new outposts and braids for you. See you soon.
You can get a free boodle bag with surprises inside when you buy Buster Brown shoes at participating dealers.
from the San Francisco Bay Area. It's time for PTV Live. And now, here are the stars of PTV Live: Arnie, Doug, Ben, and Sherry.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to PTV Live. I'm Arnie.
I'm Doug.
I'm Ben.
I'm Sherry.
And I am seeing frigid temperatures in the chat tonight.
Yes, we're...
Woo! It is right now 57 degrees here at PTV.
Makes me feel guilty about complaining when the house got down to like 50 degrees last night.
Yeah.
I shouldn't
Oh,
complain.
my goodness. That is cold. Wind chill of negative 20 in Chicago. Super cold in New York. 16 degrees in Philly. What was it? 18 in Delaware. No, thank you.
It's super cold in Denver. Jeff and Chrissy are in Denver this week.
Yeah, I've heard it's cold in
all
Denver
make
too.
choices, you know.
He said it's cold but clear, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, but clear just means that there's no cloud cover to keep any warmth that's there in. So
We're just bone daddy dry.
yeah,
So
it's
dry.
been dry here.
So dry.
Dry. Try Denver with no humidity. The last time I went to Denver, I wanted to sit in a vat of body lotion in the bathtub overnight. It is just so freaking dry.
Oh, it's so
Look,
hot.
we're even warmer than Tampa right now.
Oh my gosh.
So
Okay, enough of the weather. Let's move on.
all right. Well, we have the year of Jello that we've talked about tonight. Doug and I will be doing a little food demo for you all. We're very excited about starting this. We're also going to be doing bread this year. So it's the year of Jello and the year of bread, but more on bread coming because we have ideas of what we want to do with that.
Now we got a lot to get organized to go down that path, but
Yeah, so we'll
so that's kind of what we have going.
yeah, definitely.
It will happen. I just can't
And
promise you when.
I do see Jim
Can
in
we
the
get
chat.
some more sunshine, please?
He is live tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on his channel. More sunshine, please.
If he hasn't turned into a popsicle.
That's cold for Florida. All right. Well, I know it's cold, but I'm still going to make a cold drink here. So let's get on with a cocktail. Now, last week I made a drink that had a bourbon base, and I happened to watch a show on YouTube. His channel is called Make and Drink. He is a local YouTuber to us. He also is in
Pretty
Contra
much.
Costa County.
Yeah, we really do think so.
Like his channel's called Make and Drink, and this last week we saw him make 3 tiki drinks.
Or tropical inspired.
Well, no,
tiki
no,
drinks
they weren't tropical. They were tropical. They were tiki drinks, but instead of using rum, he used bourbon.
That's also tropical drinks. So yes,
So
he even said the word tropical.
So that's what I'm doing with that. I am going to go ahead and make an Iron Ranger. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Instead of starting with the bourbon that's on the list, I'm going to go ahead and start with the lemon juice since I've already squeezed that. But let me go ahead and put some ice in. Actually, let me do the shaking tin. Okay, there we go. I'll just put some ice in the glass as long as I don't add it. All right. Fresh squeezed lemon juice, courtesy of Sherry and Ben, the tree in the backyard at their home, because our lemon tree is barren right now. I don't know why.
Ours is loaded.
Yeah.
Different lemons.
It's back in the 60s.
Yep.
Sprit.
That tree has been bearing fruit for 50 years.
So I'm going to go ahead and pour some Maker's Mark. This is 2 ounces of bourbon for this drink. I really don't drink that much bourbon in our cocktails. This is the same bottle that we've had for easily 5 years.
Oh, God, years before the pandemic. Years.
And now you can see
Absolutely.
it's almost empty. So
Well, we got that
Yeah.
thing eons before the pandemic.
then
Something
Pine-
for your Easter basket?
maybe pineapple juice. I'm going to give this a shake and put in an ounce of pineapple juice. Doug said he wants to sip on the rest of it, so we can do that.
Kind of nurse on it.
Yeah, Janie, it's not just a lemon tree, it is a Meyer lemon tree. So it's
Yeah,
the most desirable lemons.
Some lemons come at different times of the year.
Here's a liqueur, Velvet Falernum. Falernum is in a lot of tiki-based drinks. The first time I ever had this was actually at Disneyland in a tiki cocktail that I had.
Yes, where we go, we can go and drink.
That one was at Club 33 that time. And so I'm going to put in some falernum in this. It's just half an ounce, but it gives a different flavor profile for those that want a tiki drink. Falernum is a very popular ingredient. There you go. Then I'm going to go ahead and put in
They're the best.
a little agave.
Meyer lemons.
Oh, yeah.
Not too much agave syrup. Just a 1/4 ounce in that. And then I'm going to finish off by putting in some bitters. The recipe calls for 2 dashes. I'm going to put in a little more than 2 dashes because I like... I just saw what Joe said.
Yeah.
I don't think a bottle lasts more than a few months in my house.
Oh, we're sissy drinkers.
So I'm just gonna go-
We'll get a drink. We'll nurse on it for 2 or 3 hours if we do
Yeah.
drink. We're more on talk than actual drinkers.
Joe did a fun live stream yesterday for his podcast on his channel, Christmas Aficionado, where they discussed Hallmark Christmas films of 2024. All 50 of them from various sources.
Yeah, he had this one dude named Chad on his thing, and that guy watched 170 some odd Christmas movies from Netflix, Lifetime, Up, Hallmark, GACABC, all those ones. He watched
Does
them
the
all.
guy have a job?
I don't know if he had a job or a life,
That's a lot of
or
movies.
it was a mental thing. I wouldn't have not done it. I thought 32 Hallmark movies was enough.
Just as Chad was lying.
There's just no way. Unless literally he has no life, no job, no kids, didn't clean his house, didn't even groom.
Okay, let me go ahead and pour this one in.
Because we're Christmas. Even that for me was
Yeah.
Okay, this
a
one,
little cuckoo
this
for Cocoa Puffs.
this drink has an interesting color to it. It's almost like a dark tang.
Well, it's like an apricot drink.
Yeah, it looks like apricot actually.
This doesn't look like Molly Wells drinking water to save the earth.
No, it doesn't.
No, it's
But
not
You can
that
drink
dark.
it.
This is an Iron Ranger. That's really good.
I'm sure it is.
That's very good.
I'm sure it is.
Would you like a sip?
Later.
Later? Okay. Doug wants this one later.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a drink in hand now for... Speaking of Hallmark films, let's get to it. It is time for the Hallmark Channel movie review. All right. My Argentine or Argentine heart, depending on how you want to pronounce it.
Is it Caribbean or Caribbean?
Yeah.
They're
Abril
both right.
Abril goes to Argentina to save her family ranch from being bought by her ex. But when outside forces threaten the ranch, the pair must come together, rekindling their love in the process. This film stars Julie Gonzalo and Juan Pablo Dipace, or Dipache, however you want to say that. Abril, of course, means April in Spanish. Sherry, what were your thoughts of this film?
I liked it. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, what did you think? What did you like about it?
I liked the story, and for them to say that, she had to work with her ex, that's kind of a loose term
That's
for it
not actually, it's not true.
Yeah.
because they were just kids and they never really had much of anything except that they knew they liked each other a lot.
Well, she would
Um,
Abril would fly every summer from the United States to Argentina to their family farm, and that's when she
Ranch, not a
her
farm, a
the
ranch.
ranch. That's right, the ranch, and that's where her supposed ex Diego was from.
Oh, it was a high school. It was a
I liked
teenage
the I
sort of.
liked the culture. I liked their reference to the foods and wines that they were drinking and eating. Um, I think I was pretty partial to it simply because having a Spanish background, I understood a little bit of the culture and those dynamics and the language. So I was very influenced by that. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Ben, your thoughts?
The gaucho outfits reminded me of It's a Small World.
Really? We had to go there.
I have to say the one thing that was a little bothersome to me was that some of the actors kept losing their accent.
Oh, yeah, well, that wasn't surprising though, because that generally happens with Hallmark films.
But I had not really noticed it a whole lot before.
It was an entertaining watch. It was not a perfect film. Uh, having uh, the villain pretty much be off screen for the entire movie wasn't necessarily a great thing for me, and it just came out of a possible conversation that they or a small conversation that they had about halfway through the film, and then it turned into a thing. And even then it was just one interaction with an attorney who worked for a bank that happened to have access to an unpaid loan that had gone unpaid for many years. And
Over 20 years.
Over like 10
yeah,
years.
Yeah,
So.
that
it
was
just
just weird.
it yeah
But
in the
the
United
fact that,
States, it would have already been put into foreclosure.
well, of course, she inherited the farm from the grandparents, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
Abril, and her cousin had half. They owned this ranch half and half from the grandparents. And in the case of an unpaid loan, Abril found it when she was doing research on whether or not to sell this ranch to some interested party, which turned out to be Diego, which they say is her ex. Not really her ex; it was her former boyfriend.
Fling.
Just a fling, summer fling.
Childhood fling.
But they do work together. They end up getting everything straightened out. Uh, it was a little, I guess I would say ham-fisted how they tied it up at the end. Just all of a sudden, everything
It,
just worked out.
well, it was kind of, it was like, I love Boston. I'm going to back Boston. I'm going to my life. But I'm staying here. I'm going to
Okay,
Boston. I'm like, it just kept on going on and on and on and on. That
yeah.
kind of
Again,
trope. It
it's a
was,
typical Hallmark plot hole.
I want my life. I want my life
Yeah.
back in Boston. But I want to stay here.
See,
It
the thing
was,
is that
that got
the
old.
film, but the film could have gone 20 minutes longer to play out some of the stuff that they had to really rush at the end.
I'm guessing that the film probably had that content, but it fell to the editing floor during the whole process of producing this film.
It was paced, but they could have also mixed up another thing because we get it. He wanted the farm. He wanted to bring back that lifestyle. He wanted to make it not so touristy. He wanted to make an experience, and that kind of was milked. So they could have truncated it and then added it. So it was bad editing on the part where they could have added more to the end. Um, but overall, it was very good. It was very
Yeah,
Hallmark. It was very milk toast.
yeah.
I liked it.
I
Something that
actually told Ben that I could see it being made just to explore further what happened to the business and the cousin's restaurant and relationship with Tomas.
yeah.
That was never fun in my brain.
Okay, here is our Hallmark savant. He says it was a good average Hallmark film, but some plots didn't make sense, such as The Loan. Good scenery, but it was a one-time watch. 3.5 Ben burritos, which is on our
I
scale the equivalent of 7 gold crowns. Sherry, what did
and
you rate this film?
that was my score for it, Paul. So we are definitely on the same page.
I gave it an 8 because I really could identify with some of it. That
Yeah,
was the only
Doug?
reason I gave it an 8.
I gave it an 8.
Yeah.
It was just a good, comfortable 8. It wasn't spectacular. I actually liked the lone story. I thought that was a little bit of a twist. It was odd, but I watched so much stuff on, history stuff. Argentina is so effed up, like severely screwed up, that I can see that happening. That is probably a real life thing, that loans and stuff got so screwed up because it's just a beautiful country. Amazing.
Well,
I actually would go.
it had to do with the banks that there was such a turnover in the banks that were holding the loan that nobody really knew what was going on.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. So if you know a lot of the Argentine history and how corrupt and sad the country really is, it's super sad. To me, that was plausible.
It's
totally realistic.
It is a beautiful country.
But messed up. Oh God, it's totally screwed up.
I did love, as Paul said, I loved the scenery,
Oh yeah,
especially
it's
that
beautiful.
the last thing, that drone shot at the end where you saw them at the waterfall and the drone just pulls out and you see the falls in all their glory. That was a beautiful
It was
cinematic
but of
shot.
course, nobody else was at the falls. It was just the two of them.
Oh yeah, that was kind of all staged. And I do like Julie Gonzalo, which is Abigail or whatever her name is. She never broke out of character when she was covered in flies. Because I was watching her, she had flies in her hair, it was going down her shirt. It was like she just sit there and talked, and I'm like, I would be like this. And I'm like, good for her for not flinching with all the damn flies.
Well, I told
Watch her. She was covered in flies.
Yeah, I saw that, but I also told Ben I don't think she was well at the beginning of that film because she sounded a bit froggy at the beginning of the film, and that's not her voice at all.
And she had horrible bangs at the beginning, and they whacked them off, or they did something to her hair because her bangs were driving me crazy before she went to Argentina. I wanted to do something with her hair. That drove me nuts at the very beginning. It's like, Chickie, get rid of your bangs. They were bad. Everybody looked at how bad her bangs were really bad.
You know what? They were that way in Jersey, in Chesapeake Shores too. They were
She's not a
always
bang
that
girl.
Well, I'll tell you,
When she puts it up, she looks great. She's not bangs.
I will still maintain that my favorite role that she's played is in the film Pumpkin Pie Wars.
I love her as an actress. She is, and I think Juan is a very good actor too. I thought it was very convincible where he went to Mexico
He played off of her very well.
Yeah.
And he actually does have Argentinian background.
Oh, okay.
I can see
So
it.
it was natural for him.
It was one of those Hallmark didn't fail us with one of their destination movies. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would recommend it. If people have not seen this one, I would watch it.
I don't know if it would pop up and we would watch it again.
I think Paul is right. That would have made a good watch party, especially talking about the flies.
Oh, yeah. God, there was 2 scenes. I'm like,
So
no way.
far,
Not me. No way.
Two of the 3 destination movies within the last few weeks have been good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There was
Ireland?
the Irish one,
Mhm.
Ireland and Argentina, but Antarctica.
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
I
yeah.
still
Don't get us back onto that film.
I saved myself. Yeah. No.
So for Winter Escape, so far they've had 2 wins and 1 big miss. But
coming up, I think, is the guy from Ted Lasso is going to be in it.
Yes.
And
one of the soccer players or football players
in Antwerp. That one looks promising. We'll see.
Yes.
Yeah, it's another destination, so hopefully they do good.
And we have a question in the chat, Doug. Janie B wants to know, which is worse, ants or flies?
No, can't pick. They're both horrible. Flies, they just don't go away. And you need to land to kill them. And they're horrible. They get on your food. They're just gross. And they come from what they are. Ants, at least you can avoid them, but they're also very gross and they're hard to kill too. So I can't choose. They're both 100% evil, evil to the core.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break here, do a little cleanup, but we'll be right back. You're watching PTV Live.
You're gonna make it after all.
You're watching PTV.
Hi, Milton the Toaster for Kellogg's Pop-Tarts Pastries. You know, a few years ago, my life was plain bread, maybe an English muffin or some rye bread. Ever get a caraway seed caught in your teeth? Then Kellogg's created Pop-Tarts with 5 essential vitamins and iron. Now I like getting up in the morning, and I get more exercise, like after school for a snack, and in the evening with homework. Give your toaster some exercise with Kellogg's Pop-Tarts.
Baby A, BBB. I've heard the story a million times. A is for Arnold.
A is over there, B is here.
Yeah, because his mom didn't know. These two moms didn't know that she was having twins. So when the doctor popped them out, he's like, baby A, baby B. And your parents were just so creative.
Technically, mom's the one that popped us out.
Not
It
the
was
doctor.
the doctor that caught us.
Well, yeah, God, sure. And so what did they do? They automatically just labeled you baby A and baby B? Who was first and second?
Kind of had to.
Yeah.
I could just see the doctor with a catcher's mitt.
They had to keep tabs on him because Arnie was first.
Uh-huh.
And then it was 30 minutes later
Yeah.
that Ben was born.
Yeah.
Yeah, 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Yeah, are you still clinging to the uterus wall or something?
At least it wasn't overnight, like a friend of ours who has twins. One has one birthday, the other one has
The following
the
day.
following day because
They just happened to this New Year's. They just did that where a baby was born right on the 31st at the end of the day, and the next one came out the following year. So it's twins in 2 different years.
Oh, that's gonna be.
It just happened just weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of blows.
Is there anything legally they can do about that?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
That's
That
All
would
right.
drive me crazy. Anyway,
So I would put it on 11:59. I would just say, can we just please fudge it 11:59 on the second one instead of having it the following year?
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, as I mentioned, actually, you know what? That's an interesting question because of tax purposes too.
yeah.
Oh yeah, the kids are it's so weird.
Anyway,
One's born on the 31st, one's born on the 1st, so 2 different years. So stupid.
this
Richard,
explains why Ben.
oh my gosh! Someone is snarky tonight.
Oh yeah. Someone pissed on his post toasties, so
I
don't remember that.
So that was a PTV Live throwback from 1 year ago. So last year, same night, that little throwback there. So 1 year ago.
Who would have thought? So much change in 1 year.
Yeah. Ben,
Yes.
are you
What?
ready to do a tasting? You bought some stuff for us this last week. So
We bought leftover Christmas candy.
yeah, we did do that, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's go ahead and do Ben's tasting. Ben, let me present your camera.
All right. These are another one of the flavors of Pringles Mingles. This one is sharp white cheddar and ranch.
Yeah, I couldn't find that one when I went back from war.
You got the cheddar and sour cream
Yeah.
one, I think.
Yeah, I did.
Which we
But,
open up.
There's also
You
a dill
guys-
pickle and ranch one.
That's the one I want.
You guys
That's
have
one.
this available to sample too, don't you?
Yes, we do.
All right.
They're puffed air. I mean, we tried the ranch.
We did try the cheddar and sour cream ones, which we
Yeah.
liked.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I saw the pickle ones last week at
Yeah,
the store.
I'm not sampling those.
I love pickle.
I would love to try the pickle and ranch.
These are really good.
Yeah.
They're puffed air.
Yeah.
You know,
They finish like you're chewing on styrofoam.
Yeah, I don't mind these puff thingies.
but I think
I'm
I
just
like.
not a
I
huge.
think I like these better than the cheddar and sour cream
Yeah,
ones.
I want the pickle though.
The cheddar and sour cream is a little. I mean, they're really heavily seasoned, which is fine. These are a little more subtle, and I think I like that subtlety to it.
It's just when you get them the crunch, all of a sudden it turns into this soft, doughy part.
And I thought about you today, Doug, because I saw somebody take a dill pickle, slice it real thin, and dry it, and then and
I
mix
can't
it
hear
in
you.
with
You're
salt.
going in and out.
Okay, I saw somebody take a dill pickle, slice it thinly, dry the slices, then pulverize them and add them to salt and sprinkle their popcorn with it.
Well, that's an amazing.
That sounds
idea.
good. All right, I like that
I
idea.
love it.
Let's talk about pickle.
Pass.
We'll talk about pickle shots.
I love,
Okay.
I love pickle.
We'll talk about that one. That one sounds pretty good to me, actually. I do like pickles.
This is puffed air that's flavored, not.
So, Ben, do you like these? I mean, do you like these better than the cheddar and sour cream, or what?
Yes. Yeah, I like these ones better than the other ones.
Okay, I do too. Doug?
Yeah, these are much better than the sour cream. But the sour cream or the cheddar one is very, very good. But they're just
Yeah, these ones I like better.
puffed air.
And Sherry,
Me
you
too.
like these better? Okay, good.
Mhm.
So we're in agreement. All four of us say, if you're going to choose one, choose the sharp white cheddar and ranch.
It's definitely a chemistry experiment. It's not food.
Well, we got something in the mail, so we're gonna share that with you right now.
I'm glad he's not making me do another taste test.
Not that one yet. We will be doing the tasting soon, but let's get to
I'm
this
glad
first.
not because we got to clean the palate. So, what it is, Sherry has a problem. We were all together Christmas Day. She shows me something on Christmas Day.
It's not my problem.
Yes, it is. Don't show me these stuff. So, it was
You're a
a
big
pop
boy.
up.
You can say yay or nay.
Well, after you see them, you can't. There's no discussion.
Pete,
So it
by the
was
way-
a HSN pop up of these candles.
Pete is saying, yeah, let's schedule a session. Definitely, we'll do that.
And I'm like, oh, they were $16. They were like mega clearance now on Home Shopping Network. I oscillated, didn't buy them for another day. They
Present
popped up like-
yourselves.
present.
Yeah,
I will-
present
okay.
yourself.
They're glass LED candles. Did you get batteries for these? No.
I did not know.
But they're Peanuts comic strips. On
Oh,
these
that's
candles, we
cute.
did light them and see them. They're
Are they
absolutely
all?
phenomenal.
They are all Christmas.
They're all a Christmas comic
Yeah,
strip.
it's
So
a comic strip.
They are phenomenal.
See, this one I particularly like. This candle has a comic strip on it of Charlie Brown feeding Snoopy, and Snoopy turns his nose up at it. Charlie Brown says, "All right, you're not interested. I'll give it to the snowman." So he presents it to the snowman. Snoopy goes down, sees that in front of the snowman, proceeds to tell Charlie Brown, "See, he didn't like it either."
Yeah. And then I love the whole Snoopy God, I can't even. Holding the Bell, Snoopy Drops the Santa Claus. So there are 3 different ones for $16.
Yeah.
And we got them delivered picked them up from
So
the post.
these will be on display in the forest next year.
They are, and they're made out of glass. And they have the comic strip. Awesome. So yeah, it's something that
It
you
was
wanted
a
to
set
see.
of how many? 2?
3.
For
Three.
$16.
Yeah.
And shipping wasn't bad. I mean, I think all these 3 of them were like $20. But yeah, they even have the official license Peanuts logo on them.
Yeah. So this is definitely
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very, it's like, ugh, God.
Yeah.
I didn't want to like them, but we watched them again. And I waited. I'm like, do I really want them? I need to watch them again. It's like, oh, hell,
And there was one other thing that we received. We did not show this last week. We
No.
probably should have, but we just got so busy last week. During the Christmas season, we ran a commercial featuring a record presented and sold by Goodyear Tires
From
called
the
The
70s.
Joyous Songs of Christmas from 1971.
And we have a follower that we love to death, and he had an brand new. It still has the cellophane from the 70s.
It's unopened.
Unopened record.
And he gave us a copy of the record. It was in his collection. And he said, yeah, you need to have this.
So,
Wow.
So
yeah, we don't have a record player. I know we can get one. Then you possibly have one, or is it more to transfer? Does it play?
It does not play. It digitally it turns them into digital files.
I informed you thusly. It's not a player. So we just need to find a basic turntable, because there's actually something else I kind of wanted of like a record label. And there's something about the classic sound. Yes, we're that old, where we would put these on at Christmas time. But I mean, look at it. They even have candle artwork talking about one of the artworks.
remember
So,
remember the giant
I love this.
remember the giant console we had in the dining room?
Yep.
Well, I actually borrowed that as a prop master to put on a stage in a play I was in.
That's right.
Yeah, Derek or Gregory. Yeah, we can get them on
How'd
the
you
cheap.
get it up there?
Dad's truck.
And you did that for Blythe Spirit, didn't you?
Yeah, it was Blythe Spirit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was very kind of him to just out of the blue. He says, I saw you guys have that commercial, and I hope you guys have it, just even have it in your collection.
So.
And I thought it was awesome, and it would be our first.
Jeremy and Jeff both have turntables.
Yeah.
They're super, super inexpensive. I've seen them
Yeah.
in probably Facebook Marketplace and, all those places. We could probably pick up one that we can connect to a digital speaker.
Definitely.
Or something.
Definitely.
But it's awesome. It's totally vintage. And, there's something about album artwork. Didn't we give you an album artwork of, a couple of years ago, Ben? We gave you an album
Soundtrack
artwork.
to Anti-Mame.
Anti-Mame.
I still haven't transferred that to digital files.
Oh, you need to.
There's something about records. It's a huge deal. So that was good. Thank you, Ken from the North Pole News Dispatch, for thinking about that.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Definitely.
It was definitely a pick-me-up for what's been going on.
D&G, they love vinyl. So they're live every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.
I go to estate sales and just go to places, and I see so many records, and I'm like, I'm not going to look. Even if I find something, I don't have a player. But now that we at least have the gateway, the gateway drug to records, it's a good excuse. So now I can actually look, because I've seen one. I was on an estate, and it was the actual soundtrack to, I want to say it was Peter Pan, or it was a Disney movie. And it was in incredible condition. And they wanted like $20 for the album. But it was the actual album of one of the Disney movies. And I'm like, I don't need it.
I got rid of so many.
Oh, we did too. Yeah, we did too.
You don't think about it. You're like, oh,
okay.
Get rid of it.
Well, we have one more tasting tonight. Doug said we do need to have a palate cleanser. I'm not sure how this one is going to be for a palate cleanser. I'm a little concerned about it, but let's check it out.
We had tried this before.
Nope.
No.
Let's check this one out.
Okay.
Indeed, we're doing a Taste of Christmas
Yeah.
tonight on the discount aisle. Where was it?
They
that
were
we took them?
90% off or at 70% off at Target.
That's right. It was at
We got these
Target.
for like $1.
Ben,
This was a
show the
Target.
package.
Yeah.
It's from Target. Red Vines gingerbread flavor. So it is a gingerbread licorice.
They smell amazing.
They do. They smell incredible.
So we're gonna give these a try. I've not had these before, to my knowledge.
No.
Okay, when am I gonna get the gingerbread flavor?
Well, we had ranch.
There it is.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is.
But you can tell they're stale.
No.
They're not
They're
stale.
stale.
They're not stale.
They just don't have enough gingerbread flavor.
It's just
No,
very
it's
mild.
very subtle.
Very-
There's
it's not
a
sweet.
subtle flavoring.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's just not. When I want gingerbread, I want to taste that spice. I want
And when I want a red vine, I want a red vine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not bad, but they're not
they're not great.
almost like tastes like a cookie. Like just a plain, slightly spiced cookie.
Yeah.
Adult
How
cookie.
much did you pay for these?
Like $1.
I think they were like 98 cents or something like
It was
that.
$1.08. It was $1 something. So if you
They were
can
cheap.
them or give them to the school kids or Mark Twain, I don't care.
But yeah, this is I don't think I'd buy this again.
No. We've had the candy corn flavored. We've had
pumpkin spice.
We had pumpkin spice, which wasn't spicy enough. It's just
Alex says his F word is I don't pay full price.
Oh, that's kind of how much we are. Only when there's certain circumstances that we have to like do it because there's certain things.
Exactly.
Because
you pick your money battles.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, we're gonna take another quick break here.
Oh, I love no.
Oh yeah, that's a note from Ken about the record. We're gonna take another quick break here, but we'll be back with a food demo that you're not gonna want to miss. You're watching PTV Live.
Welcome to the heartbeat of Orlando, where style meets the Sunshine State. Express your love for Orlando with our casual line of clothing, celebrating the iconic 407 area code. Feel the vibe. Wear the pride. 407 Original Brand Apparel. Available at theorlandoguy.com.
You're watching PTV.
Ever watch kids play with Weebles? It's really something. Hey, hey, look at me and Weeble. Me and Weeble go all around. One day, kids pretend they're flying into Weeble Airport. Next day, they play around the Weeble Cottage. Or if it's real nice, they go out to the Weeble Marina and go fishing. Hey, hey, look at me and Weeble. The Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. Romper Room makes Weeble toys.
Romper Room.
Oh, I played with that stuff.
Now, you had a friend that you would call Weeble.
Yeah, because she would walk and she kind of has this, when I see her walk down the hall, she kind of Weeble wobble down the hall. And for 20 some odd years, I had a nickname for her. I called her my Weeble Wobble. So sometimes I'll get up and I'll have a pain and I'm like, oh my God, I feel like a Weeble Wobble.
Ken, we just showed the record.
Yes, you have to go back and watch.
Yeah, you're not going to want to miss that. Okay, so That's not the only toy that we have to share with you tonight, though. Weebles, yeah, that's one, but here's another one. Okay, Chatty was in the kitchen with us as
So
we.
I didn't know that.
Chatty was very excited because it's the year of Jello. And so you'll see that was our opening today. We showed the Knox gelatin, the Del Monte fruit cocktail, 100% fruit juice.
Yes, and not with extra heavy syrup.
And that shortbread crust that you see, we picked up at the Frugal Hoosier.
It was clearance.
It was an after Christmas clearance for $1.25.
Yes.
So it was like picking it up at the Dollar Tree.
We needed a crust, and we'll explain why we picked that.
Yeah. Noah says it's Chatty pie.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure Chatty would like this pie, but
I'm thrilled.
Yeah, we are thrilled.
So we get to do this.
We're very excited about this. This is the year of Jello.
And to kick it off,
Doug made.
Bring up the.
We made a fruit cocktail,
eggnog
pie. Now this recipe is from December of 1956 from Knox Gelatin.
I have one also designed exactly like this from 1955 with that same
Why do you
recipe.
look at me like that?
It is
because you were no, she was made the same year.
Yeah, well, no.
Now here's the thing. This particular recipe, if you look at the first ingredient, it is a can of fruit cocktail. That can is almost 2 pounds of fruit cocktail. I don't know that they make them that size anymore.
No, they don't make.
Because what was the size that we got?
I don't remember. I was going to check earlier, but I got a little busy.
Like a 14 ounce or 15 ounce?
15 ounces.
14 or 15 ounces. So that's what we used.
Yeah, it was enough for what we needed. So we didn't embellish the top.
Yeah. Now you'll notice in the picture of that ad, you see fruit cocktail that's garnished on top. It's probably all the way around the pie.
It was. You're supposed to have more to put it on top.
And you put some in the pie itself. Now, we didn't have enough fruit to garnish it, so it's just in the filling itself.
So, yeah. So, what we did...
Doug has it here.
So, to make on that, you can do a typical... Wait, hold on. I'm like, we followed it to the T, but the crust, you could do a typical pie crust. I was thinking graham cracker. I was even thinking speckaloos, making my own. But with what's been going on, we saw this in the clearance bin, and I thought, oh, shortbread will look great for it. So here we go. We made the eggnog fruit cocktail pie.
All right. We made the pie.
We made it. So I gotta go cut it because
I
think it's gonna be a huge mess.
Well, this is the year of Jello. What we're really looking at is gelatin and anything that can gel for that. So we use Knox gelatin for this. This is how it started. You actually started with the fruit juice from the fruit cocktail. They said they want...
Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah, they wanted half a cup of it. And then you take the gelatin and you bloom the gelatin in that. You've got to make sure that it thickens. So we set that aside while
Hold on.
Yes.
Bloom the gelatin.
Yes, that's what it's called again.
Then you got a cup and a half
of eggnog. It's not just dissolving. You just bloom it.
Yeah. Now that was Bud's eggnog from San Francisco. Great stuff. So you take that and it's got to be warmed up. It's not, you don't want it to a boil. You just warm it up. So Doug starts to whisk it just to make sure that we get this thing going. That's a wonderful whisk that we actually had a demo from Alex, 1002,000 here. It collapses, so it's a nice flat thing in the drawer, and then you can just click it open and it works well. And now you're taking that bloomed gelatin with the juice from the fruit cocktail, and you pour it into the eggnog as you are simmering the eggnog on the stovetop.
Just simmer it.
So you don't want it to boil, you just want to warm it.
I guess my only concern is we don't know how good the shortbread crust is.
So then we added vanilla. And it actually comes for a teaspoon and a half. Doug just kind of
I went over.
estimated on that. And then it also wants almond. It actually said almond flavoring, but we put in almond extract. Alex says, "Wow, Ben doesn't know blooming the gelatin. It's official. He can't cook."
I've never claimed to be a cook.
So you whisk in the extracts into the eggnog. He's getting it nice and warm. Turn it off. And then you have to set it aside to cool.
Oh, I made sure it was gelatinous. It went into the refrigerator.
Yeah, it was.
That's one thing about you have to really. Jello is a technique because they tell it to partially set. What does that mean? Because it could set too much and it just comes into globs.
There's the fruit cocktail. We had it drained so that we could catch that juice that they wanted.
I hope the shortbread crust tastes actually good.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what it looks. Oh, is you done?
No, we're not done
we're
yet.
finished,
So here he is. He's.
I want to try it.
We had to make sure that eggnog was cool enough and thick enough to go for it. Ben, let's celebrate you. He says, Ben, that's why we have a channel. We can teach you.
Yeah,
No, you can't.
I prefer Jim's comment.
They don't want to lose their fire insurance.
Please tell me you had to fold in the fruit salad and then you had to argue about what that meant. Okay, we had to make sure that we had somewhat stiff peaks for the heavy whipping cream that we added. It was a cup of cream that we put in there, and there are the stiff peaks. And Doug's taking the plastic protective coating on this pie shell.
You know it's going to be good when it says it's written on there $1.25 and they scribbled out the UPC code.
Yeah. And then at this point, you have to mix in the whipped cream into the eggnog mixture that was already been chilled. And Doug, of course, did a very nice job. Make sure it was nice and smooth. Yeah. And then
I can already tell I'm going to hate this.
you can see this is where Doug was starting to measure out the cup and a half.
This stupid thing got granted. You know, from the 60s or 50s to now, the measurement of a can is not what we get.
Yeah. Then
So I just said, "Oh, screw it, I'm dumping it all in there."
You realize that's what it was. And then
I
you
would
have
have
to,
done the same thing, Doug.
I mean,
then
let's
you
do the embellishment.
and then you fold in the fruit. Yeah, fold in the cheese.
Yeah, fold it in.
Unfortunately, we did not argue about it because we actually know what it means to fold in. So, okay. Thank you, Jim.
So, there it is.
So he folded it in and then poured into the prepared shell. We didn't top it with anything.
No.
They actually called for the garnish on top for the fruit cocktail,
let me
but of
go
course,
get nutmeg.
we did not have enough to put on top of it. So we're going to garnish. The recipe does not call for it, but we're going to go ahead and garnish with freshly ground nutmeg. And there we are, Doug, smoothing out the top of the pie to go into the refrigerator. And then I picked it up.
It doesn't weigh that much, so...
No, it doesn't. It's not a very heavy pie. It's actually deceptively light.
Hold this up while we're just... They can see
It's
it.
whipped cream and Jello. What do you
Hold on a
want?
second.
Not even
And there it
Jello.
is in the fridge.
Gelatin.
It has to chill between 4 to 6 hours
Or
minimum.
overnight.
Or overnight.
Bye-bye.
Okay. So there we go. All right. So
I'm going to put, like, a sprinkle of freshly ground nutmeg.
yeah.
Mine fell over, so I'm just putting it off to the side. So this is what it looks like. The crusty crust. It's...
Yeah.
You
Jim,
can't
you
really
are so
see.
right.
There it is. So yeah, it looks like every pie used in the Three Stooges.
Okay, you got it?
I've got it.
Okay.
All right. So
Here we go.
I'm going to go ahead and give this a try as well. You got your napkin?
Yeah, over there.
Here you go. Here's your napkin.
Okay, first of all, I'm going to take it sans crust.
Yeah, I'm going to try just the
I'm
filling.
going to do it with the grape.
I've got some
Crust.
some fruit in there, something in there.
It doesn't really taste eggnoggy. It tastes delicious.
It's kind of very mild.
Now I want to know why some people put more sugar in it, because I actually saw someone put more sugar in it.
Yeah,
It was
someone called. Yeah, you know what? It should have had sugar because
Scoop, right?
it could have been sweet. Usually things are
Well-
far too sweet.
There it is. Oh, I get to have one of these bright red cherries.
I've got crust here.
Let me try the crust. It's actually delicious.
You know, Pete's asking, does it need booze?
Some people did. You could probably put a tablespoon of rum in this. Yeah.
It could add rum, but you
I
know
could have
what?
probably put some rum in this.
I'm not getting much flavor from the fruit cocktail either.
No, I am. There's just not enough of it.
But yeah, it could definitely be sweeter. It's very...
But it's also probably our commercially prepared eggnog. Sherry was so nice to find. It's still at a store. And it's supposed to be, that stuff is more higher end than the commercially prepared.
I have to
what the-
open up
the-
my bottle.
What?
The eggnog.
Oh,
I still have
Bud's-
mine in the
Bud's,
refrigerator.
it's
Bud's
very San
eggnog.
Francisco. It's very high end.
Oh,
I love this. This is
I
amazing.
love the idea. He says maybe you can macerate the fruit cocktail in rum or whiskey.
Oh.
That's a good idea.
Drain it.
As a
and
matter
then-
of fact,
Or maybe
I-
you need the 2 cans to make the 2 pounds.
well, I would say I would remake this
Oh, this
and
is so
definitely
good.
tweak the recipe. We'd need to add a touch of sweetness, and I like the idea of macerating the fruit cocktail.
Yes. To make it a little rummy.
But you need more fruit cocktail.
Yeah, it does need more fruit cocktail.
There it is.
What's that?
I don't know if that's a pear or a peach, but it was really good. Oh, this is delicious. I would totally modify it. I want more fruit. I want more chunks. You have much more grapes than mine.
I do. I have a grape here. Let me try that.
They all taste the same, Doug. I know.
I know. You have to think of the texture because sometimes the pears can be weird.
Okay.
Absolutely love it. We'll modify it. We'll make it again.
Yeah.
Nope.
And the crust.
Pears, hands down, always have a weirder texture than a peach.
And they don't have
Pear-
much of a flavor.
No,
when they're
pears.
in that can.
Yeah.
Pears are very textured. They're no flavored. I've cooked with pears and I'm like, if you want a weird texture that's kind of mealy, then and you like the pear thing, I don't mind them. I'm just not. I make pears. I make
Yeah.
stuff with pears. I'm just
See,
not huge.
Now, Alex agrees. Macerate the fruit cocktail with alcohol. I think that's going to be key to the next time we.
I like the shortbread.
try
The
this.
shortbread's sweeter than the pie or the Jello thing.
Yeah,
I would
you
probably
guys-
go graham cracker.
You guys are talking about cooking with pears, and all I think of is Sue Ann Niven with her big pears, Alicia.
No, this is absolutely amazing. It just needs a little bit more oomph. You got to remember, in the 50s and the 60s, it was hospital food. Everything was out of a can and it had no flavor. And they would always add a quarter of a teaspoon of MSG on everything. I have my great grandmother's recipes.
But yeah, definitely.
Everything, she put a quarter of a teaspoon of MSG on everything.
We need to add fruit to it.
It needs more fruit cocktail.
It needs more fruit.
I got
And
skimped out of it.
I think the idea of macerating the fruit in alcohol would definitely help it. Now remember, we made the recipe.
This is really good.
We made it clearly as they stated right here
I
on
wanted-
this recipe.
I wanted 1956.
And remember, it's easy as pie with prepared eggnog, Betty Crocker pie crust mix, Knox gelatin, and fruit cocktail from California.
I was
Gala
10
new
months old.
holiday dessert.
I was
I love
10
this
months
artwork.
old when that came out.
There's one, I was going to give him another one that was written as from 1955 that has pretty much the exact same look. And then you can write mail today.
I like
send
it.
that.
Mail your request today to Knox Gelatin, Box H20, Johnstown, New York.
I was going to actually mail it to them. And
Now,
see if it
when you
still
guys
exists.
talked about starting to cook with Jello and all that, I didn't think about Knox gelatin. I was thinking that you were going to be using a box of Jello and doing some sort of mold with it.
There's a lot of Jello recipes that ask for unflavored gelatin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's the same thing.
the thing is that it's not just Knox gelatin like that in a box. You can also get gelatin sheets that you can then
Yeah.
prepare in water, and you can pour that into a recipe to gel your food.
That's big on
And
baking.
to Ben, I know Ben's head is blah 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 blah.
I'm sorry, I think of Jello and I just think of the lime Jello salad that Mom used to make with cottage cheese and pineapple.
Yeah. Well,
no, we followed it to the T. It's totally worth it. It is awesome.
Yeah.
It's almost like a mousse.
Yeah.
It has a mousse texture. It's not gelatinous.
It does. It's almost a mousse consistency.
It's very soft. It's not jello-y or jiggly.
It just needs more flavor.
Yeah. It's awesome. I love it.
So
thank you, Sherry. And good way to kick it off.
But macerating the fruit and also adding a little sugar, that would definitely help.
Yeah. And then I don't know if I'll do graham cracker crust next time, because this was actually pretty good.
Yeah, this one worked well.
A panna cotta, that's pretty much exactly what it is. It's very slightly firm.
Yeah, I don't think that's as firm as a panna cotta, though.
No,
panna cotta was a little bit more eggy and a little more firm.
Yeah.
This is definitely mousse.
Definitely. I would say that the panna cotta is more custard-like than this.
Yeah, this is more mousse-like, very light.
Okay, Jean is reading my mind. What's panna cotta?
Google it.
It's like a pudding.
Yeah.
It's like a custard, almost like creme brulee.
Yeah,
but
it's not.
It's the nemesis of all people on cooking shows.
Okay,
because they can never get their panna cotta to set
Alex
in
says
time.
it's glorified Jello.
Yeah. You prepare it with gelatin.
It's more
They
eggy.
can't get it. Yeah. Wouldn't you say it's the nemesis to all the cooking shows?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because it can be too runny.
They can never get it to set in time for their
and that's because those competition shows require things to be done in, okay, you have to do this, make sure it's inspired by a woman's pump shoe, and you have 27 minutes to do all this.
On a Wednesday at 3:00.
Yeah, there's no... It's not realistic at all. So that's why panna cotta always fails. That requires time to set.
Yeah, this is not one of those things you have to stop and wait. Okay, it comes out. Do it some more. It was like, that's one thing about Jellos. But we did this with unflavored gelatin. We're going to get some of our other ones. We're collaborating in February to make a savory.
Yes. We're going to be we will be collaborating in February.
That scares me.
That one is...
that is with the Velveteen Lounge Kitchen.
I think it was page 86.
Yeah. And then the following month of March, we will be collaborating with Let's Celebrate TV. And then in future months, we will also be collaborating with Fox Hollow Kitchen, as well as Donna Jaworski, to create some Jello concoctions. And in between that time, we will also be posting shorts on our YouTube channel of other Jello dishes, along with talking about bread. The reason why that comes up, let me go ahead and explain just a little bit about that. We had a situation this last week where we wanted hamburgers, and we usually get our buns at Fuddruckers, our local Fuddruckers. They just pick them up 79 cents each, no big deal.
Well,
that changed. They raised the price to $1.75 per bun.
Ooh.
So I thought, you know what?
But it's
I mean, we can afford it.
Yeah.
That's not the thing.
The buns are delicious. Fuddruckers only exists based on franchise. The company of Fuddruckers went belly up. But there's a company that controls the franchises, and each franchise can do whatever they want. They own the Fuddruckers name. Well, it's a little bit much. Well, we wanted to see if we can mimic it anyway. But I said, okay, well, if we make 12, I freeze them anyway.
We have an invitation to go to Let's Celebrate TV in New Jersey. The four of us should come out there and stay with them, cook and live stream together. We have the rooms. And Sherry, he also said that, or 5 of you, including Sherry's husband, Tom.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. But yeah, definitely gotta love the 50s.
But
what I'm getting is from the 70s.
With the Fuddruckers thing, we're gonna create our own hamburger buns. So we're going to do that. We're also going to make our own sourdough bread. And I've got a hankering to make my own English muffins. I know it's a lot easier just to buy them packaged and ready to go from Trader
For
Joe's.
$1.99 at Trader Joe's, there's nothing to beat
You need
it.
to have Megan on as a guest.
Yeah.
She's made English muffins for me before, and they were delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you can use sourdough discard. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
not complicated. It's just
But that's some of the
back to the Jello and savory Jellos. Have you run into the old recipe for Jello salmon mousse?
No, not yet.
No.
But
we do have.
I must say, for me, as much as salmon is one of those things that a lot of people like, I'm sorry, I just can't stomach it. And I have tried to eat salmon.
I'm gonna put meat in Jello, some kind of meat product, but I refuse to put cat food, which is tuna fish. No, I'm not putting sardines in Jello. No, and salmon also is like cat food. Will make me gag. No, so I will not. I have standards of what we're gonna put in Jello. Nasty. No,
Yeah,
no.
I've tried with like you, Arnie. I've tried and tried and tried. Tom loves salmon. My grandkids love salmon.
I went to Sweden. I could have eaten as fresh as possible.
Oh, absolutely.
And I tried.
Spam is going into Jello.
Yeah.
Spam, absolutely. There's another type of protein I'm going to put in Jello. And I'm going to put some other things in Jello. It's going to be suspended, and another thing that's going to be in Jello.
Mario,
I'm going to do a lot of vegetables in Jello.
Mario, thank you.
Do Jello and cheese go together?
Yeah.
Like cottage cheese, yeah.
And cream cheese?
And cream cheese.
We use cream cheese every Thanksgiving for our Jello salad.
Well, I know about cottage cheese. I know cream cheese. I was talking about just like jack or cheddar or
like grated or little cubes of it?
Or melted?
Whatever. I don't know.
No, you
do
can't
some research.
What fruit goes good with cheese?
I don't know if we were to melt it with sodium citrate.
But I don't know if they have any apple Jello.
You have Knox gelatin. You can flavor your own.
Yeah.
Ben,
So you do a solid.
we would have to experiment with that, especially with sodium citrate as one of the tools in our tool chest.
Oh my god, I could put a layer of Jello, and then macaroni and cheese on that, and then put the other layer of Jello, so it's sandwich of Jello, macaroni and cheese, and Jello. I could do that. It sounds actually really good.
You heard it here. We're gonna give that one a try.
I think I can do that. You just have to have it solid.
We're gonna do a savory Jello parfait.
Oh.
What did you do, Ben?
Why don't you just chop up all potato chips and sprinkle them on top?
And cut little wieners into
hot
dogs.
I could. Each one of the layers of Jello can be chopped up little hot dogs. They're suspended in Jello. Then you have the macaroni and cheese and another layer of Jello that has suspended hot dogs in it. That'd be a picnic Jello. I love this idea. And then you sprinkle it with some dill pickles.
Oh,
oh my god, that sounds amazing.
Oh my god.
I love that idea. Hot dog and gelatin, macaroni and cheese with pickles.
Okay.
I could totally make that.
Yeah. We're gonna try this. Oh
yes.
And then we can sprinkle goldfish on top, just like Mike Wheeler suggests.
No, I don't want crunch. I don't want that kind of crunch.
All right.
I won't even put breadcrumbs on it because
obviously the creative juices are flowing here.
But I think yeah.
This is the year of Jello. We're going to be presenting some very fun things this year. I'm looking forward to it. Just be watching our channel. If you're not subscribed to our social network or here on YouTube, you can find us everywhere at Pepper Tree Villa.
Okay, and the gelatin, the unflavored gelatin could be flavored either with barbecue sauce or ketchup. So you mix the gelatin with either barbecue, then you put the hot dogs in it.
Stop him, Arnie. Cut
and
him
then
off.
solidify it and
off.
I can do this. Because I'm like, I don't want to use like lime Jello or orange with macaroni and cheese. That would be gross.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna try a savory Jello, Ben.
Okay, here it is.
You and I are going to make
Pete says, I'm feeling the challenge for a savory Jello salad, also known
We're
as
probably losing visitors.
aspic.
We're probably losing watchers. People gagging. They're like, "Oh, screw this! I'm out of here." Click.
All right, everyone.
You and I are going to do a savory Jello.
We will be doing some more food demos this year. Definitely, we're leaning more into food, and of course, you'll see more Christmas and more crafting from Sherry. But that's on future episodes of PTV Live. We'll be back next Monday night,
While we're
8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. You can see the Christmas forest is coming down. We have our QR codes on our totes, so we're excited about
one whole
this.
wall in the family room has no crystal.
Yeah, the crystal
It's
tree
normal.
and the crystal, the crystal grove, those are all down. So we're gonna keep moving on with that. It's a slow process,
Glacial.
but it's okay. A little Christmas in our lives is a happy thing. After all, for Doug, Christmas is a lifestyle.
Yeah, and we need to take care of our health.
You'll see that artwork in our shop pretty soon at tpublic.com. But that's going to be coming very soon. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight on this Monday night. We'll be back next Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific for another episode of PTV Live. Sherry, I guess you'll be presenting a craft next week?
Yep, I'll do another Valentine craft next week.
Wonderful. So everyone, thank you for joining us. Your moment of groove is going to show me doing a little packing of the Christmas forest, so don't miss that. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Arnie.
I'm Doug.
I'm Ben.
I'm Sherry.
You've been watching PTV Live here on Pepper Tree Villa on YouTube. Everyone have a magical evening. Have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Now it's time for your moment of groovy. Good night.
Good night.